Hello! So, the kid in this book essentially does my dream job, and he may be an undiagnosed or unstated individual with autism. So, Andrew Henry's Meadow is at its core about individuals being and feeling safe and supported and having a space to engage in their fixations that aren't dangerous to themselves or others. It's also about the desire to help others, to express yourself and for them to express themselves with the help of an accessibility artist or designer or both. It's also actually about the struggle and pain when, in all seriousness, it's also actually about the struggle and pain that is really a fact that we go through as individuals when we're in situations when we feel like an outcast, especially when those situations are with people who are dear to us. So this is an awesome book that everyone should check out, and it's really changed my life since I was a kid, and I didn't realize it until I sat down to write the script to talk about it. And by the way, Andrew Henry's Meadow was written and illustrated by Doris Burn. So, Andrew Henry's Meadow was a book that my mom read to me and I read to her a lot when I was little. We spent who knows how many hours talking about ideas based on this book. Andrew Henry, in essence, inspired, like I said before, I didn't quite know it yet, inspired what I'm trying to do now and what I want to do with my work. We'll get to that, though, in a little bit. First, though, we should talk about the protagonist, Andrew Henry, and his friends. So, Andrew Henry is super smart and innovative. He loves to create solutions to other people's problems. He loves to invent devices or engineer solutions in various ways and designs to make life easier for other people. However, his own family finds his inventions and creativity annoying, strange, aberrational, unfortunate, and feeling disheartened, understandably, and unsupported as a person and in his ideas, Andrew Henry packs up his things and runs off. And very understandable feeling. Eventually stopping at a meadow and building himself a home, a small little shack that's just what he needs for his personal needs. It's got smokestack, fireplace kind of thing. It's shelter, and it has a little landing pad, something he enjoys, but it's a landing pad out the front window for dragonflies to land on because he loves watching dragonflies. And so that's something really nice for him, and it's got everything he needs, plus something really nice and wonderful for him. And it's got all of his space for all of his tools and everything. Perfect for him. It isn't long later that another kid from the town is also running away and stumbles upon his meadow. A girl by the name of Alice. And she shows up with all of her bird cages. Tons of bird cages, several binoculars. She has a love for birds. Birds. They fly around, they're pretty, they're nice to look at, they're nice to watch. Bird watching. She's a bird watcher. This, however, is been frowned upon by her dad, and he's actually done things to make sure birds don't hang out near the house, from scarecrows to getting cats in the barn, etc. So she, feeling like Andrew Henry, and many of us have at different times in our lives, disheartened about ideas not being supported or fixations not being supported, she's run off. Not all of us have run off, but she did, just like Andrew Henry. And she runs off and runs into Andrew Henry and asks him to build her a home. And so he builds her a tree house. A tree house. And it's an awesome tree house. It's got bird cages. It's got bird feeders. It's got, little bird landing. I don't know the technical term for it, but spots where birds can just land and stand on the little bird perches. I guess they're called perches, I would assume. I don't know. Feel free to tell me down in the comments what the actual term for that is, you bird-knowing peoples, you avian specialists. She got spots to hang up her binoculars. She's got, she's got a great view from this high tree so that she can look out at birds. He builds her this awesome treehouse place for her to stay and live where she can watch birds all the time. And so over time, more and more kids from town run away from town with the things that they're fixations, that are no longer supported, that are being shunned and put down. And they find their way to Andrew Henry's Meadow. And when they get there, he builds each of them a home fit for them specifically and their fixations, their needs, so that they can be themselves in their home. And he supports their safety and also their creativity and their personality in these spaces, and specializes each of their houses in design and in shape and in just through and through for them as individuals. The book does wrap up really well on a high note, especially specifically for Andrew Henry and his family. We don't get to see into how everything wraps up fully for all of the other families. We do see a happy reunion, etc. I won't go into all the details because I do recommend that you go check out the book, either through an online reading or through, getting the book yourself, because it is awesome. And I'll go into it a little bit more, I guess, in a moment. But it does wrap up really well, and Andrew Henry's family does come to an understanding about him a bit better, and to a better appreciation about him and his inventions and his creativity. And I think that is absolutely awesome and beautiful. So for a quick moment, if you had a house based on your current fixations that fits you, whether you're an adult or a kid, it doesn't matter. What kind of house would you design to put in Andrew Henry's Meadow? Please let everyone know. I'll throw mine down in the comments too. Please let everyone know down in the comments. I'd love to hear it in addition to any other comments, but we'll get to that again. Feel free to throw any thoughts down there too. So for me though, I didn't realize how much Andrew Henry's Meadow impacted how I would think as a person, what I'd want to do with my life, my work, and everything, until I sat down to write this little script to talk about the book. And when I picked up my book, this is the actual book I had when I was a kid. It was given back to me in 1994, 1995, years and years ago. And my mom and I were reading it by the time I was 5. We had read it several times. And it was really, really important to me and really struck me, even at a young age. And I'm now reading it with my boys. And so, as some of you may know, and some of you may not know, I focus a lot on accessibility so that people can have and maintain their dignity, no matter their physical ability. I also focus on specialized design and designing spaces to fit people's fixations without both the accessibility and the, excuse me, still getting over a cold. The accessibility and the specialized design can both be integrated. The universal design, accessible design, specialized design, all of these things can be integrated without too much work necessarily. I mean, you might have to do some video for another time, but it is something I'm interested in, and yet that's exactly what Andrew Henry's doing in this book. I never thought about it. He's designing spaces to fit people's the things they enjoy. And the interesting thing is that when I was doing the review, I came across some of you diehard book lovers will probably be a little bit sad to see this, but this is some drawings that my mom and I did when I was back in 1994 when I was a little one. And that's a house I designed back in 1994. That was my house I designed, called the Nathier House. I don't know what it was at this point. It's been too long. But that is the design I did back in 1994 at 5 years old for a house. That tells you how old I am, unfortunately. So that, it's a book that's still stuck with me, and it's always been something I've loved doing, is sort of remodeling and designing things based on other people's designs and interests. And it's been so fun for me to sort of revisit this book, and I'm so glad and thrilled to be sharing it with you, especially realizing what I've realized about it and how much it's impacted my life over the last 30 years. 31 years now. Wow, 31 years, and at the time of recording, and I'm just glad to be sharing it with you, and it really has changed my life, and I really recommend you check it out. Whether or not you're an individual or a parent or guardian of someone with autism, who has autism, this is an awesome book for everyone, because it's about finding your place and helping other people find theirs. And it's just awesome. And I really hope you liked this video. If you did, please hit the like button to help the YouTube algorithm, and subscribe to get similar content. Throw any comments or recommendations down in the comments section. Any thoughts, anything. I would greatly appreciate it. Any conversation, questions, anything. I'd love to talk more with you. And if you can think of anybody who would enjoy this video or any of my content, please share it with them. It really helps content creators like myself, especially those who, like me right now, are just getting started, but it helps all content creators when you share their content, when it means something to you. So if you could do that, that would be super helpful and mean a lot to me. But before we end this video, I do want to make sure that you know, whoever you are, yes, you, please, wait. I'm glad that you're here. I'm thankful for all that you're doing, for all that the people that you care about are doing. If there are days when it feels like you're not doing much, like you're not making a difference, you are. Even if it seems like all you did was get through the day, it makes a difference that you got through the day. Your life makes a difference. You make a difference. I'm glad you're here. Thank you.